risk taking.
Wow.
Regulation makes it really tough because different countries regulate different pieces of those products. You know, some of the products they call financial services. Some of the products are like trading cards aren't even regulated. Some of the products like NFTs aren't regulated. Sports betting is highly regulated. High casino is the most regulated, right? So it's hard to put all of them on one platform, but we're trying.
Yeah. All right, guys, we got Sam here from MonkeyTilt. Thanks for coming on, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, you were golfing yesterday with Menry, huh?
I was.
How was that?
It was good. Did you see the bet?
No, what happened?
Oh, really?
Well, 2-on-2, right?
So we're doing, okay, so, you know, Bob did the full send golf. Like he kicked off full send golf.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is, I haven't golfed in 2 years. I took like a 2-year break when I founded MonkeyTilt because I just you need time to golf and practice, and I just had no time. So Bob's been in my ear. He's like, we have to have a MonkeyTilt golf channel. We have to have a MonkeyTilt golf channel. So finally, I get a few days this week, and I said, you know what? We're in Vegas. The weather's amazing, by the way, right now.
Yeah.
So let's go golf. So we needed to create a format. I can't hit the ball that well right now. So we need to create a format that was like easy for me to slot in and just play without needing to practice a lot. So we created 2-man scramble. So you know the format where basically both of you hit a drive, but you can play whoever hits the better drive. Then both of you hit an approach shot, but you can play whoever hits the better approach shot. So you can kind of only make 1 or 2 good shots a hole and still be in the game. It makes it very fun. So we create this new format. It's like a high stakes 2-man scramble where we like challenge, 2-man teams and we play a scramble. So yesterday, Bob was gonna get this girl influencer, this girl golf influencer out there and stuff. First of all, he didn't sleep the whole night before. He was at Durango all night, just zapping, drinking, gambling, whatever.
By himself?
Like for good chunks of the time by himself, right? And then I don't know. And then Bob does this thing where he always meets people at like a bar or something, and then like those people become his friends for like 2 weeks or whatever. So he shows up to the golf course with this guy who's like a big litigator in the U.S. randomly. They just met at a bar, right? He was hitting on the guy's fiance, and then then the guy comes back from the bathroom, and him and Bob become friends.
Oh my gosh!
So he brings him, and he brings this girl. She's like a golf influencer or something. And then I hit up my buddy and I said, hey, Spencer, our buddy.
Yeah.
Says, hey, I got this friend, Adam, would love to come play with you. And I said, great. And the girl hadn't shown up yet. I said, great. So Adam shows up and Bob gets this thing where Bob thinks he's like the best golfer in the world. Bob thinks he's the best at everything. So Bob said, you know what? Why don't I play me and the litigator against you and Adam? And we'll play 2-man scramble. And I said, cool. I said, but what do you want to bet? Because Bob, I don't do money with Bob anymore. It's stupid. So he goes, well, if I win, I want 25 grand. I said, okay, well, if I win, I want you to get a tattoo. That's why I left it at that. And he said, if you win, I will get a tattoo on the shaft of my penis. And I was like, you're kidding me. I was like, I would have settled with like a peck or like a neck tattoo would have been hilarious. Yeah. And he insisted that this was that, right? So Spencer calls up this girl. Spencer is a tattoo artist. He calls up this girl and she's down to do it. She's like, yeah, 100%. So we're making jokes the whole time. Like, and by the way, my partner in the first 2 holes, you watch the stream, shits the bed. My partner's supposed to be like a really good golfer and just playing terrible first 2 holes. So Bob's getting cockier and cockier. He wants to press the bets, like the whole thing, right? Couldn't even play it in our hands even. And Bob's drinking. Anyways, he crumbles like the middle. We freaking destroy him. We get him to press the bet too. So his second bet was I had to put up 7,000 and he had to do 3 blind dates of my choosing live on stream. He also owes me that. So right now the whole internet's like chasing him because he owes us a dick tattoo and a 3 blind date series on stream. So that was honestly one of the best golf days of my life. It was so much fun.
That was nuts. Yeah. You think he'll actually get the dick tattoo?
Well, so now Spencer's talking to OnlyFans, and because we were like, we thought it was such a funny idea because we're out there on the golf course and stuff. And we would go, oh shit, like how do we stream this? Because you can't, you know what I mean? Yeah. You can't put this on Kick, right? And so we were like, well, can we put this on like, what do you do? And then Spencer goes, I bet you we can get a deal out of OnlyFans. So Spencer's talking to OnlyFans and he's trying to get Bob to stream this whole thing live on OnlyFans.
Oh my God.
And Bob might get a bag out of it.
Now he has to show his
and Kyle, we were supposed to golf tomorrow on Full Send Golf and against Kyle and Saleem. Yeah. Kyle's like, I'm not doing it until you honor your bet, Sam.
Wow. Yeah. That is nuts.
The internet's behind me on this one.
Dude, that is crazy. I don't think he'll do it, but we'll see.
I think he will.
You think he'll get it?
By the way, and I've offered, because I think I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even know you could do this. Apparently you can. Apparently some people do this, right? So I didn't even know that was a thing. But I said to Bob, like, hey, I'm willing to be cool about this. Why don't you, like, the bet was, I risked 25,000. So why don't you put up like 5 or 10,000, right? And I'll let you get it somewhere else. I'll let you get the tattoo somewhere else, like on your arm or leg or something normal. And he's like, no.
Damn, he's all in.
He's all in.
Holy crap.
Hey guys, shout out to today's sponsor, Kinsta. Running an online business is already a challenge. Your website hosting shouldn't make it harder, and I've been there, dealing with slow load times, confusing dashboards, and unreliable support. That's why I switched over to Kinsta, and it's been a game changer for my brand. Since moving to Kinsta, my site loads faster, runs smoother, and I don't have to stress about downtime. Their intuitive dashboard makes managing everything simple, and their 24/7 expert support means I always have real people whenever to help when I need it. Kinsta's built for performance with blazing fast speeds, enterprise-level security, and 37 global data centers to ensure your site reaches audiences quickly. They also handle free migrations, so switching is effortless, and if you ever get a traffic spike, Kinsta automatically scales to keep your site online when it matters most. I'm not the only one who trusts Kinsta. TripAdvisor, NASA, Indeed, and over 120,000 businesses rely on Kinsta for their WordPress hosting. So if you want hosting that works, just make the switch to Kinsta today. Get your first month free. They'll even handle the migration for you. Just visit kinsta.com/DSH to get started. That's KINSTA.com/DSH.
The whole dick or just a little picture?
And so it's the monkey head, the monkey logo's head.
Oh my.
Yeah. There's all sorts of logistical things I don't want to get into on this podcast, but it's crazy. I don't even know if I'm going to watch it, to be honest, but it's kind of that sick thing on the internet. You kind of want to watch it, you kind of don't.
It's going to be unavoidable, I feel like.
I don't know.
That's going to break the internet.
I think if we can pull off this deal with OnlyFans, this thing's going to go nuts.
Holy crap. Yeah. That's crazy. How often do you and Bob do these weird bets?
So I've known Bob. I met Bob in 2021. And we've been really good friends, those 4 years. Bob's been on an absolute life roller coaster in that probably, me and you were talking before the show, you got to know Bob and stuff.
Yeah.
We've bet our whole relationship, like our whole life, our whole time together, we bet on all sorts of crazy stuff.
What's the craziest bet you've done with him?
That one for sure. It's not even close, right? But we went and picked up this, we were going to do this heads up poker thing, right? We still are actually working something out to do it on Poker Go where we play heads up poker for some crazy stuff.
You would destroy him.
I think so. So we played this heads up poker match. Did you see the tilt truck that we have?
Was that the one at the Super Bowl? Or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can cut that into this clip or whatever. But we did this dope truck with West Coast Customs, and we had this whole plan where we're going to go and pick it up in LA and then drive it around LA and invite people on to gamble with us. And Bob and I in between were just going to play heads up poker nonstop for 48 hours and stream the whole thing.
Damn.
Right? Yeah, because he was he thinks he's a better heads up poker player than me. So I was like, let's do it. Let's play 48 hours straight on stream the whole thing, right? So we were playing, but then of course the LA wildfires happened. So we changed it into doing something for charity for the LA wildfires. And
That's
so we
cool.
ended up raising $50,000 for the LA wildfires, just driving around on the bus, posting on social media, acting like complete knuckleheads, right?
Wow.
But in that same time, in addition to raising $50,000 for the fires, I beat Bob heads up for $17,000. So that was fun.
I mean, you have a poker background. I don't know why he would have thought
Yeah, I like to play poker. I like poker.
I mean, you are actually good at poker. You're a winning poker player, right?
I'm okay. I wouldn't say I'm a winning. It depends who against. Against an average person, probably. Against someone like Andrew Robo or Alan Keating, no shot.
Okay.
They would crush me.
So you're better than an amateur, but you're not a pro.
100%.
You're in between.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite game to gamble on, poker?
I think sports is my favorite thing.
Sports betting?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, sports is definitely the thing that I've had the most success with.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a hard one to make money in, I feel like.
It is, 100%.
So what's your game? Like NFL, NBA?
I'm really good at NFL. So I was doing this thing for fun this year called Señor's Pick of the Week during NFL. I was 8-1 going in Super Bowl.
Damn.
I had a huge bet on the Chiefs, so I was 8-2 against the spread too, right? So I'm pretty good NFL capper. And then I dabble NBA, NHL. I like betting totals a lot.
Yeah. What's the biggest sports bet you made, money wise?
It's a big one. I don't want to say the number. It was on
that big?
It was on a boxing match. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I like to bet big on fights.
Wow, boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like boxing, if you have the right information, is a good one, right?
Yeah. I had a ginormous bet on the Chiefs for the Super Bowl. I got crushed on, that was a weird game. That
was a terrible game.
I've lost big bets before, but that one felt really gross because it felt like we would never had a chance.
Not at all. I couldn't even watch the game.
It was spooky, man.
I wanted a close game because I'm just a fan of sports.
Yeah.
So I just wanted a good game.
We got spoiled last year with the Chiefs and 49ers. And
that was a good one.
Went into overtime, and I was there in Vegas, and dude, that was awesome. So to go from that Super Bowl to this one was just a total bump.
Super weird because everyone was saying the refs were in on the Chiefs, and it seemed like they were going to win it all.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
refs weren't either. The first few calls went the Eagles' way for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I've had guests come on here say the NFL was rigged.
No, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, that would seem hard to pull off. You know,
who knows, right?
like there'd have to be so many people in on it.
I feel like a lot. There's been a lot of gambling scandals have been like the big thing that you saw that headline the other day about the college basketball and the NBA stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's obviously there's stuff going on with player props and things like that, and it's really unfortunate because I think most of the world's doing things pretty kosherly, but I guess you're always going to get stuff like that happen.
Yeah, right? Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, right?
Oh, I didn't know.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he would fake injuries and yeah, that was
like
nuts.
Allegedly, or this is like
yeah, I'll say that to be safe, but I'm pretty sure it's like a known thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Holy smokes.
Just to get the under, you know.
Yeah, that's I've never really bet player props at all in my life. Like, my whole life. It's never been my thing. I never liked daily fantasy. Never bet player props. I always bet sides and totals.
I mean, that's probably smarter because you can't really predict the player stuff if they get injured or if something happens.
No, and it's hard to get. I guess people don't talk about this, but it's hard to get big bets down on anything but main markets. So like I like to bet big. So like the only things that I can get down on are like major sports like NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and major markets, major liquid markets. So like full game over unders, full game spreads, that kind of thing.
The casinos must hate you out here.
Okay, so no, I'm good. You know, obviously, because dude, I've been at a lot of these casinos. So like I've been I think they love me as a casino player because, you know, it's impossible to win in the casino. So when you're playing baccarat and craps and stuff. So I'm a good casino player. I give good action. But yeah, I can't get down big on sports in any of these places. I'm limited like across the board.
Even at Circa?
Circa will give me, I think Circa gives like, what, 25,000 a game or something like that.
Which for you is like nothing.
Small,
right?
yeah.
Damn.
Small,
yeah, because if you bet that, you can't really win 6 figures, right?
No, your ROI on a sports, like if you're really good at sports, your ROI is like, you know, low single digits, mid single digits. Some people have like things that are high single digits, but it's very tough.
Damn.
The markets are really efficient, right? Like, you know, they think about all the smart people betting every single day.
Yeah.
And I think what and this is where people get preyed on all the time, right? Is they buy sports picks from people. And the problem buying sports picks from people is let's just say I tell you I like the Chiefs -6.5, -110, right? And then you go and you bet the Chiefs -6.5, -120, or you bet the Chiefs -7, -110. To you, you're betting the Chiefs, right? But to me, you're just seeded multiple percentage points of ROI. And so you just went from doing a plus expected value bet, positive expected value bet, to a negative expected value bet. So most people are math illiterate and they don't realize that and they get preyed on. And that's what I think is pretty bullshit, right? So, if sports betting it doesn't matter what side you pick, it just matters the price you get because everything has a right price.
Yeah, the timing of the bet's important, right?
Yeah,
people don't know that.
Yeah, that's right. That's why like really smart bettors aren't allowed to bet football on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Like when I used to first bet football at DraftKings, I used to bet NFL on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Then DraftKings came back to me and they said, no, you were only going to take your action on Sundays, right? Because they want more efficiency in their line before they take a big bet from me, which is fair enough, right?
So the line would move so much by the time Sunday comes around, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, that's interesting.
And I say this when I give, you know, I don't need to sell sports picks, but when I give my sports picks out for free on my IG, I always say like, hey, look, just remember the price matters. Like I get if there was one game, it was like where it was the Commanders and I got +9.5 and the line closed like Commanders +7.5, +8. Like those are two different lines. You know what I mean? It's a million things that can happen. Like, and this is when you do sports, you're running Monte Carlo simulations. So it just like taking all the data and running sims of what possibly could happen, and you're running thousands and thousands of these sims. So all sorts of scenarios, and then there's a probability distribution curve of like the percentage chance it lands on any given game outcome, right? And so when you think about, there's key numbers, you know, you ever hear about key numbers in NFL and NBA? Like there's key numbers in NFL, like 3, 7, 6 has become a key number now. So those numbers have a lot of statistical value. So when you move off of that number, it's a huge change in the delta and percentage of expected value.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, you're intense with this stuff.
Yeah. There's actually a really good book on it for beginners. I don't even play, you know, I don't get paid to plug anything, right? But there's it's by a guy named Matthew Davidow and his partner. I think it's called The Logic of Sports Betting. Really good book. It just gives you basic tools to understand how to bet little. If you're betting sports every day, or you're doing this just for fun recreationally, it just gives you a little bit of a compass to know, like, it's like if you're playing blackjack, right? Or that's a bad example. If you're shooting dice, right? Everyone knows you're shooting dice, you're losing long-term in the casino, but there's things you can do to massively minimize your loss that you should know about, like max backing the pass line, right? Because that's an EV neutral bet. making sure you're getting comps, all that kind of stuff, making sure you're getting, instead of 3, 4, 5x odds, 10x odds on the numbers, right? These things all matter and add up over time. So it's really, I was listening to this conference call for the Wynn back when I was in my early 20s, and they talk about, in the high traffic areas, they always put the games that are most advantageous to the casino. So they put like blackjack that pays 6 to 5. Now, if you're someone who's pretty knowledgeable at gambling, you'd say, well, where's the 3 to 2 blackjack game, which is a huge difference.
Right.
And of course, they have it there, but it's hidden somewhere in the middle kind of thing.
In the high roller, right?
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah. They'll do it for their high limit players.
Yeah.
That's right.
Palms just brought back 3 to 2 blackjack.
That's awesome.
They're trying to revive.
Yeah, the local casinos do a good job of giving higher payout slots, 3 to 2 blackjack, 10x on the odds versus for dice versus 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
All those things are very good for the player. Also, I mean, I hate when the casino plays mind games with you. And I know I own an online casino. There's some irony in this, but like when you say, but you should just be honest about it, right? When you play commission baccarat and a normal person goes, oh no, I have to pay commission. Like this is terrible for me. I'm going to go play no commission baccarat. But of course, the game mechanics and rules of no commission baccarat are way worse for you than commission baccarat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
or that,
wow.
that when
I didn't know that.
in 21, there's all those variations of 21, like 21 plus 3 or switch card 21 and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are all way, way, way worse for you mathematically than just regular blackjack.
Damn.
So what these game designers do is they come up with these really clever mechanics that are very appealing to math illiterate people that, just like, enjoy a game, right? And play it. And that's all fine. I mean, if you're playing for entertainment and stuff and that's, which is what you should be doing, then that's fine. But you just need to understand that doing a little bit of homework helps you a very, very long way because this stuff all compounds. If you're playing regularly, you should like pay attention to a lot of these things.
Yeah.
I gamble regularly, right? I know I'm getting taxed some amount for that over the course of every single year, but I get a lot of perks for it. I get to stay at nice villas. I get to eat at all these nice restaurants in Vegas. And so for me, it's like a small tax to pay and I enjoy doing it. I do it socially with friends. But I'm playing like the thinnest edge stuff. Like you think about a player like me, I'm playing baccarat. I think what the household on baccarat is like sub 1%. And then I'm getting comps on top of that. And then, of course, I've got really high limits, which helps me because I can chase, right? And so the reason why a casino does well, a casino has a game with a hold or return to player that's in their favor, but it's very thin, right? The percentage is very thin. So the way they get you is they put their max limits low. The delta between the min and the max limits is compressed. So you can't martingale out of it, right? Where, martingale where you double your bet.
Yeah.
Mathematically, if there was a big delta between the min and max bet, let's say the min bet was $100 and the max bet was 100,000 and the casino didn't stop you from martingaling. I mean, statistically, you can martingale your way through most of your life.
Damn.
It's actually nuts, right? Until it doesn't work, right?
Wow.
But that is like some of these little math tricks is what, the secret science behind a casino. And then of course there's all the psychology that goes into it. Like UNLV has a gaming institute and these guys will study the types of things and what their effects on player behavior is. Like the color of the felt, where they put side bets and stuff in games, the lighting in the room, the smells of the room, the music, the lighting. Did I say the lighting right?
Yeah.
I said the lighting, yep. So they study just kind of like all these different stimuli and their effects on the brain. You've heard some of the infamous stuff on the internet that they pump oxygen.
I've heard that.
And stuff like that.
Is that true?
I don't know. I've it's funny. I've worked in casinos a good chunk of my life. I actually have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like when you walk into a casino, it's kind of similar to like walking into a good hotel lobby or you walk into like a like an amusement park. You know how that smell.
Yeah, you feel it.
Your senses get woken up right away, right?
100%.
It's hard to sleep inside.
Yeah, when I walk in the Aria, I feel different.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts how they do that. They got it down to a science, man.
Yeah, they do. They really
wow.
do.
I didn't know
and they study everything from like placement of slots to placement of table games to they're very quantitative about foot traffic, promotions that drive different kinds of foot traffic, cross-selling, so getting people into the hotel for cheap, let the hotel be a loss leader, then get them to, gamble or whatever it is, make food a loss leader and get people to traffic that way, make a poker room a loss leader, make sports a loss leader. So they're very good about getting you there and then figuring out how they're going to make their money off you. But it's funny, Vegas has evolved. Like it used to be that Vegas, you would do all these cheap buffets, cheap comp food, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if you look at a pie chart from how Vegas Strip made its money 10 years ago to how they made its money now, it's transformed dramatically. It used to be mostly gaming. Now it's actually mostly F&B and entertainment.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
You go eat out all the same places I eat out.
Yeah.
It's expensive. Right?
Yeah, I'm dropping like $500 if I'm with someone.
Yeah, that never was the case in Vegas 20 years ago.
Damn.
Like $5 steak.
Yeah, I used to love the buffets back in the day.
Yeah, dude, me too.
the one in
Wynn still has a good buffet.
Wynn's decent.
Yeah.
The one in Caesar's Palace. Which one is that?
Yeah, I
Forget
don't know.
the name.
I've never been.
Bacchanal.
Okay.
You've never been to Bacchanal?
That's fire.
Oh, fire, bro. Yeah. But now I go and it doesn't hit the same. to be
Yeah,
honest.
no, it doesn't.
Once you've had really good food.
I was raised on buffet food.
Yeah,
my dad
same.
like raised me. I grew up in Vegas, and we were just middle class family and stuff. So we ate buffets a lot.
Yeah.
Very-
I used to sprint to the food, man.
Yeah. And unlimited desserts.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
fire. Yeah, I've never seen a casino go out of business out here though, right? They know their business pretty well.
Mostly. There have been casinos that have gone out of business in Vegas, but it's usually just overspending, right? So it's, there's been bad projects where they've overspent on the development and stuff. They just never were able to recoup their capital.
Right.
So there's a couple, and then there's of course stories of casinos that have been bankrupted by players. So bad risk management on the casino's part.
Yeah, but that hasn't happened in a while though, right?
It hasn't happened in a long time. No.
I feel like that
Not
with
that I
all the algorithms now, they probably can.
They're very, well, remember, casinos used to mostly be privately held. And I think for the most part, a lot of them around the world are. But in Las Vegas, a lot of these guys are publicly listed. So
Right.
MGM owns like 30-40% of the Las Vegas Strip. Caesars owns 30-40% of the Las Vegas Strip. That's 80% of the Vegas Strip. They're both publicly listed companies. The Wynn owns Wynn and Encore. So that's whatever other percentage of the Vegas Strip. Venetian and Palazzo are owned by Apollo Private Equity. Yeah, dude, I can't think of one thing on the Strip that's private. Oh, Circus is owned by Phil Ruffin.
Yeah,
He's like a multi-billion.
they're selling though, right?
It's funny. I was at MGM when we sold it to Phil Ruffin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But I heard. I guess there's rumors going
About
around,
Disney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. I don't know who the buyer is, but yeah.
We'll see. You think Resorts World and Fontainebleau are going to survive? They're not profiting right now, right?
So I think I don't think anyone knows the answer to that question about whether they're profiting or not. And Resorts World has a parent company that's public, listed on the Hong Kong Exchange. Their Malaysian parent company. I think they are profitable.
Oh, they are? Oh,
Yeah.
so Vegas policy, you were wrong.
Yeah, I know. One of my good friends just took over as chairman of Resorts World, Jim Murren, who used to be one of my bosses at
Yeah.
MGM. Really, really good guy. And he brought in a new team, and I think they're doing pretty well. Fontainebleau, I really get on. So I like Brett Muffson a lot. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He's part of the ownership group. And I think it's, they spent a lot of money on that property. It's drop dead gorgeous. I don't know if you've stepped.
No,
walked
it's
inside.
really beautiful. I go to Power Slap there.
Yeah, we did a MonkeyTilt event there. But the thing is that whenever you spend the target that a casino is trying to hit is 10% return on investment. So if you spend $4 billion, you're trying to make $400 million of EBITDA a year.
Damn.
Just to give you an idea, I think, and these numbers might be a little still, so check these numbers for me, but I think the Wynn and Encore combined make $600 million of EBITDA.
Holy crap.
So when you think about that, and Bellagio for a long time, back when I was looking at this closely, it makes about $500 million of EBITDA. So those are two of like the highest earning properties on the Las Vegas Strip. So you have to kind of like, you're spending, I don't know how much Fontainebleau spent on development, but let's just say it was $4 billion, but just fact check that for me. But then they would need to make $400 million of EBITDA.
It's $1 million profit a day.
It's just hard. Yeah, it's super hard. Profit too, right?
Yeah. And is that including the restaurants and stuff or no?
It includes everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
everything?
it includes everything. That's the ROI target.
There are some big spots there. Poppy Steak's probably bringing in a lot.
I love David Einhorn. David Einhorn. So you saw on my socials. David Einhorn's my fucking guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
You got the briefcase?
So yeah, of course I got the briefcase. Now he has that new thing.
What's the new thing?
It's like a carousel. It's like
What?
It's like, dude, go look at his IG. It's like a carousel. It like comes out. It's like a bunch of bottles that come out with like these 3 big steaks hanging on like a cart, on like a beverage.
Yeah.
cart kinda
Yeah, we'll
thing.
throw up a video on this.
Yeah.
Marketing genius.
Yeah, he's very,
Charging $1,000
very
for
cool guy.
steak, man.
And you should get him on your pod. He's very,
He's down. Yeah, we've talked.
very cool story. He's going to be in Vegas actually upcoming this week.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll hit him up. Yeah, because he's killing it. But New Surrett just went under. Did you see that? Salt Bay?
I did not see that.
Salt Bay had a restaurant next to the T-Mobile Stadium.
Yeah, and you're saying that specific restaurant closed.
Went under, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it was location. That's a tough area.
Where is it?
T-Mobile, but you gotta parking's just a bitch there, dude.
Oh, you mean like right outside of T-Mobile?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is tough because there's a Shake Shack there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's just tough. That's a hard place to be because where do you park?
You can't park.
Said it. Yeah.
Park at like Paris,
That's
I
a
guess.
tough location.
Yeah, but people are so spoiled. They want to park and just walk in.
Yeah.
Or valet.
Well, dude, I'm so lazy. Like, I like to go to the Wynn because it's on the other end of the strip, so you can sneak in there, and you can sneak off the strip. But if you don't, the Aria and stuff, you're in the middle. So when you spit out, you're stuck.
You're stuck.
All that traffic. So like, location matters a lot.
Yeah. Is Wynn your favorite spot to gamble right now? I know you got a lot of friends in this industry.
Yeah. I would say I have a lot of. You know what? Actually, a spot. I don't want to just. Everyone's gonna think I'm getting paid to plug this. I'm not. The spot I like to gamble a lot lately is Durango. Actually,
How did I know you were gonna say that?
I don't know. I don't know, but like I was talking to my guys on my team, and we were walking through Durango on a Sunday, and we're like, atmosphere is so pleasant, man. It's so everything's so brand new.
Yeah.
And they did such a good job with that property, and it's like it's got the right mix. I always say a casino has to find that right mix between luxury and then the product for the everyday person. Because even people who like luxury stuff who are wealthy still like to feel like normal people and like every day go to a food court or like pick up a burger or pick up some like a frozen yogurt or something. It's like Durango's food court is fire.
Fire.
So good.
Irv's Burgers, the pizza spot's good.
Irv's Burgers is fire. Yeah, they have this ice cream place that's good. And then what did you say, the pizza place? I
Yeah.
can't eat pizza, but Prince Street, right?
Prince Street, yeah.
I mean,
You can't eat it?
New York. No, because I'm not supposed to eat dairy. But,
Damn.
yeah, it sucks. But but I still eat ice cream. But the sports book is killer. The sports book bar, whatever that thing's called, the George or something.
I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Bel Air Lounge too.
Everyone tells me that. I haven't been.
Really?
Yeah, everyone tells me that I haven't been.
It's nice.
But I think Durango's awesome. I mean, Wynn takes amazing care of me, dude. I just became part of the chairman club there.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. What is that? I never heard of it.
It's like the MX Black Card, right? It's like an invite only program. They do it for their like top customers. I've been playing at the Wynn, dude, since I guess, how old am I? So since I was 21, I guess. So
Damn.
Yeah, 14 years or something. So they know how to treat players. And then they're opening up zero bond. So they're tying like zero bond into, the chairman's club and that kind of stuff. So I think, and I like how they've done the way Wynn's done their development. Like they brought in Earth Cafe from LA. They brought in Cipriani's. They brought in a lot of these cool little
Delilah
stores, Delilah's, pop in. So I think Wynn whoever does their F&B and retail has a very good grasp on what's relevant and what's cool.
Crushed it, yeah.
And so they're like, they're the marquee, spot still on the Las Vegas Strip. And then Durango's just so cool for a local spot. Like I live not far from the Strip. I live like 3-minute drive from the Wynn.
Yeah.
And so driving to Durango is a real pain in my ass.
It's a hike for you.
Yeah, it is, but I still go.
Damn. Yeah. Durango just feels clean, man. That's where all the Nelk boys gamble too, right? Steve and stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Steve and stuff. I've gambled with Steve there and at Red Rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you guys do?
That was that day that Steve was down a huge number and we were trying to claw back. So,
Jeez.
yeah, I've done well. Actually, Durango, dude, I've done really well with Durango. Yeah.
Wow.
That's just variance. It's just statistical variance, but I've done really well at Durango. Had a much harder time at Wynn.
Well, their odds are probably better than strip places, I'd imagine, right?
For sure.
It's off strip.
Yeah, and they comp better too. But
really?
The problem is like, what do you want the comps for at the end of the day is, so like the Wynn, you can spend those comp dollars at Delilah or at the golf club, or they've got a lot of good assets for you to spend that currency on.
Right.
Durango's good. Like but I don't need them to comp Irv's Burgers for or like I don't want to like stay in a room at Durango, right? But like that's why I like playing it. Like my family really likes staying at MGM Mansions.
Yeah, I heard those are nice.
Dopest product. Like the butler service is incredible. It's like, dude, you walk into that courtyard and there's like a smell. They like spray this smell and oh my God, it's so beautiful and like peaceful. You're almost like not in Vegas. Right?
Yeah.
Like a waterfall in the middle. They have a private Chinese restaurant that's really good.
Damn.
And so when you stay at mansions, like my family likes staying at mansions. So I'm like, okay, well, I can use my MGM comp dollars at mansions. When I throw this fantasy party every year and we throw it at the Wynn Villas and stuff. So like that's kind of how you think. But I'm not gonna stay in a Durango room or I've eaten at Nico's. Nico's is pretty good.
That's the Italian one or the steakhouse.
What's the Italian one?
I don't know actually. I went to some restaurant there. I thought it might have been something else, but
yeah. But the Durango team's good.
Yeah, I actually like for staycations. My favorite spot is Venetian.
Really?
Yeah. Have you stayed there?
Never stayed there.
All the rooms are sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like,
and then what do you do there when you staycation?
I mean, Venetian has some good restaurants. If I had to like pick a hotel for favorite restaurants, it's Venetian.
Yeah, Hassalon is in there.
Hassalon, you got Mott 32.
Yeah, Mott 32 is
fire. Yeah. That's my favorite Asian spot in Vegas.
Order the duck ahead of time.
Yeah, you got to order the duck there. Yeah. They got Milos. They got fire, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, X-Pot if you like hot pot.
Oh, I've eaten at X-Pot before. It's really good.
Banging, bro.
Hey, do they still have that karaoke spot in there?
Karaoke.
They had this little karaoke spot that they were trying to blow up, kind of similar to the
I think it's there. I haven't been though.
It used to be a spot before COVID. It was really popular.
Yeah. They got a new dart spot if you're into darts.
Never done darts.
Really?
Yeah. I did. Wow. I tried I tried axe throwing with my team.
It's actually hard, right?
Suck at it. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
I couldn't even get the thing to stick.
Couldn't mean either.
Yeah, axe throwing's no joke.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But no, Venetian's a sleeper, man.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one hotel like to stay at, what's your favorite one?
Mansions and
MGM.
It's not even close actually, because the Wynn. I was thinking Wynn Villas, but then I thought their butler service is nowhere near the mansions. Like, I'm talking, dude, mansions. There's like stuff I can say on the pod and stuff I can't say on the pod, but like mansions is like there's nothing that they won't do for you. Like you can be, you're in your room. You're in like the hot tub, like there's a hot tub in the room, somewhere in the middle. It's like a ginormous hot tub, dude, like bigger than the size of this table. And like you're in the room, and then they're like putting out fruit platters for you. They're hanging all these nice robes that like just came out of some like hot robe that they have. They've got like the attention to detail, the luxury like 6-star stuff that like it's just crazy. And they'll come in if you like you just walk in there with the clothes on your back. Whatever you need, they got it for you. Swimsuit, no problem. You need, I know, I'm just making like, you need workout clothes, no problem, they got it. Do you want, you know what's funny with me? I like the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
I love hitting the Stairmaster in the morning. When I come in, they put a Stairmaster in my room for me. In like my room, they buy it. They go and buy a brand new Stairmaster and then put it in my room.
That's crazy.
And then my girlfriend really likes flowers, so they know the exact types of flowers she likes. They put them in every room.
No way.
They know the exact type of food we like.
Dude, that's insane.
They'll work with, if you have a chef you like somewhere in like the country or the world, they'll talk to that chef ahead of time and like pay them to get the ingredients and recipes. I mean, there is no stone unturned.
How much a night is this spot?
They don't, you know.
Oh, you can't just get it online?
They don't.
So you got, it's invite only type stuff?
Invite only.
Is it for the NOR members,
I've
the
heard
black?
they charge you a comp rate for the biggest room there. Is the comp rate's like $30,000 a night.
Oh my gosh.
But I know I don't know what the entry is. But they it's just comped, so who knows, right? I don't think they sell the room.
Wow. I wonder how many of them there are. There can't be too many of them.
28.
28. And are they all like by each other? Like
they're all very private. They're all kind of there, you know, very, very private. Damn. Although one time I know I can't tell a story. Well, he does to say one time we were like having a great party in the room and we get a knock on the door. It's a very, very, very famous rapper.
Oh yeah.
Thought it was his room and I was like, oh no. But then I was like, hey, can I take a quick pic?
Yeah. I think Mickey Mace used to stay there when he was gambling a lot, right?
Oh, I don't know Mickey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Have you gambled with him at all? Or
I don't know.
Really?
I've never met him.
Damn, I'm surprised. You guys probably know a lot of the same people.
We probably have a lot of mutual friends. I've never met him.
Yeah.
Banks is one of my friends.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's a mutual friend.
Is he big on gambling?
He gambles, but I don't think he's big on it.
Yeah. I think crypto is a form of gambling, right?
It's very debatable, dude.
The meme coins?
It's very, very debatable. I would argue yes.
For meme coins, 100%.
Yeah,
it's not even
yes. Yeah.
It's not even a question with meme coins.
I agree.
But for Bitcoin, I guess you could see that as an investment.
Yeah, Bitcoin's like a store of value. It's just highly volatile.
Yeah.
Right?
I know you come from crypto a little bit, right?
Yeah, I do. So I built, if you think about MonkeyTilt, it's my third business in crypto as a startup. Like my first business I ever co-founded was a company called Manifold Trading.
Yeah.
It was a quantitative high frequency hedge fund in crypto. So like my whole thing with crypto has been, what do I think are the biggest use cases of crypto? The number one biggest thing was, did you study abroad when you were in college?
I didn't. I wish I did actually.
So when I studied abroad, one of the most stressful moments for me, I remember, was this one time when I needed money for something. And of course, all your friends aren't going to give you money. So you need your parents to send you money. And my dad didn't know how to send me money quick enough. It was like a 3-4 day delay or something like that.
This was before Venmo.
Yeah. No, but Venmo doesn't exist outside the US.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
what?
Yes. If you're in Australia, it's like, a lot of Americans don't like realize this, right? You're in another country. Like moving money from one country to another country is not instant. It's a delay. It's like a multi-day delay.
Damn.
And I guess it depends. There's different services and stuff, but it is a delay. Like, it takes time, right? And there's FX rates, and there's transaction fees and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes back in the day, people used to use, what's that one, cash, Western Union or something?
Yeah, Western
Cash.
Yeah, I use that.
There's all sorts of different ways to move money cross borders, but it's all extremely expensive and takes a lot of time. So the number one use case for crypto is just money transmission, right? Like if my daughters are in Australia and they need, I don't know, $5,000, I can send them ETH on ERC20 and it'll be there in 2 minutes.
Right.
Probably less, right? But that's incredible. And then I think the second best use case for crypto is gambling. I mean, so you know what I mean? Like the store of value thing, I believe with Bitcoin, I do believe Bitcoin's a good store of value. It's, I guess you can believe in Bitcoin as much as you can believe in any fiat currency, right? It makes sense. Or as you can believe in gold. But I think for whatever reason, crypto as a basket trades as like a hyper beta index to tech in the US. And so when tech's hurting, crypto tends to hurt. And when tech's doing well, crypto tends to do really well.
Yeah.
So I own a lot of crypto, as you can imagine. I also own a lot of gold, right? And yeah, but sorry, we were talking about my startup. So Manifold was a quantitative high frequency hedge fund. And then I spun a piece of technology out of that called Aether, and then I sold Aether. So this MonkeyTilt's my third company.
Damn, and it's a crypto casino.
Yeah, it's like, I think of it as like a crypto. It is right now. It has a casino, right? But over time, I think of it as like a risk taking platform where I think all these things that you correctly identify are risky, right? Or take some meme coins, collectibles, like trading cards. Like we know when you buy a pack of trading cards, I don't know how many people are buying packs of trading cards to just hold the cards and put them on their wall. Like I think a lot of people hope they get that big $10,000 card, $100,000 card, whatever it is. So in some way, that's gambling, right? You know what I mean? You open a pack of cards, it's whatever. And it's a multi-billion-dollar a year business, right? And so I believe that all of these things are risk-taking, whether they regulate them as gambling or not, whatever. I'll let the regulators decide that. But I think they should all live on one platform, tied together by one wallet and one rewards currency. Because how cool would it be if when anything, you like to keep your dollars spent at one place that takes good care of you. So like if you're a good customer at MonkeyTilt and you mess with collectibles on our platform, you trade crypto on our platform, crypto perps, you bet sports, you play casino, you play poker, like these are all the product verticals we plan to introduce, then now all of your you could have been trading crypto on Binance and you could have been doing collectibles and cards with Fanatics or whatever. But if you're doing this all in the MonkeyTilt ecosystem, now all of a sudden you might be level 1 or 2 at any of those places, all individually. But now at MonkeyTilt, you're level 5 on the rewards tier. And now all of a sudden you're getting free UFC tickets, free Formula 1 passes, all that kind of stuff. And I think that that's overall a better value proposition for the customer.
100%.
It's very, and I'm sure you know this because you dabble with a lot of stuff. It's very disaggregated, right? It's like, if I think about crypto, I've got some money on chain. I've got some money on centralized exchanges. I'm trading, meme coins through Telegram bots. Right? That is my Solana wallet's linked into. I'm using Dex Screener to check, the activity.
Yep.
I'm betting sports on, you name it, any of the listed guys you were just rattling off. I'm playing casino. I don't play casino online. I mostly played in real life, right? And all these different prices. So like you think about that and you're like, man, there's a lot of wasted rewards currency there.
A lot. Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah, and rewards, and everyone knows this. Any good, if you study reward systems, I'm fascinated. It's like one of my nerdy things is about studying reward systems. I don't know if you ever went deep down the whole.
I haven't.
Credit card reward systems,
I'm
airline
curious.
reward systems. There are people who just do ridiculous amounts. Now you have ChatGPT, so you just have ChatGPT. But before on the internet, there's just all over these people hacking these systems, right? But the overarching theme of these systems is that the rewards get infinitely better as the closer you get to the top, right? So the closer you get to the top, the higher the reinvestment in the customer is, because the theory is acquiring a high value customer like that is going to cost so much money. So once you acquire them, you don't want to lose them. So you're willing to give that customer so much higher of a percentage back than you would to any of the customers lower down the ladder, because ergo it should be easier and easier to acquire that each tier of customer as you go lower down the ladder. But that top echelon of customer you don't want to lose. So you're almost willing to make it a super, super low margin proposition for you. So as a customer, you want to be able to consolidate all of your points into one ecosystem and run up the rewards ladder as quickly as possible. So that's what I'm trying to do at MonkeyTilt, is give an all-in-one platform for risk taking.
Wow.
Regulation makes it really tough because different countries regulate different pieces of those products. Some of the products they call financial services. Some of the products are like trading cards aren't even regulated. Some of the products like NFTs aren't regulated. Sports betting's highly regulated. Casino is the most regulated, right? So it's hard to put all of them on one platform, but we're trying.
Yeah. That sounds like a nightmare logistically. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, because you got customers all over the world, right?
We do, yeah.
Damn. Yeah. So is there a reward system in place right now at all, or you're still developing?
And right now, no, there is one. It's really, really generous, and it's mostly focused on reinvestment back into the dollars on the platform. And then we take care of our VIPs and soft comp dollars in all sorts of ways. I mean, you were at our Formula 1 party, throw a Super Bowl party, bought a big old suite to the Super Bowl.
You went hard. You gave away $1 million at that, right?
Yeah, I gave away another $1 million on top for the Valentine's Day thing. We did a $1 million safe crack opening thing. So we do things like that all the time.
Yeah.
I think the stuff like the $1 million Valentine's Day race is more targeted at VIPs, and then stuff like the $1 Million Safe is more targeted at the everyday customer.
Yeah. It's smart that you take care of VIPs because you see that happens in Vegas, and that's why these casinos crush.
Yeah, I mean, I am a VIP customer, right? So I treat those VIPs the way that I would want to be treated.
Yeah,
and that's what matters.
Yeah. What's next for MonkeyTilt? Anything fun this year?
We're doing a lot of the stuff I'm excited about. We're partnering with some very new personalities. Our product roadmap's super aggressive. So we're obviously introducing a ton of stuff on the crypto trading front, on the poker front, on the collectibles front. So whether those all come out all this year or a little bit bleed into next year, we're excited about them. And then I think just some of the stuff we do, so the content's been so much fun. That's been the new thing for me because I've been such a private person. But the things we're doing on YouTube and through social media and stuff, the different channels that were popping up, the podcast, the golf channel, all this stuff, we're just going to keep doing that and keep having more fun with it.
Yeah. What made you want to step out? Because you've been behind the scenes your whole life.
My whole life, yeah. Actually, the feedback was, it's funny, they just interviewed the guys who founded Stake recently.
Yeah.
This is a really good article. The feedback from our customers was we feel more comfortable gambling and putting money on a platform where there's a face associated with it. So like we know the guy, we know his story. And I'm sympathetic to that, right? Because at the end of the day, if like something goes wrong, at least they have someone to go after. They have, they know I'm out there, right? And so it's like, it's fair enough. I think that my customers deserve that level of accountability. And it's, it's what I would also want as a customer. So it makes a lot of sense. Now, it came at some cost to me because it's not something, I'm not used to having a public social media or anything like that. But it's been fun, and I've just tried to lean in and appreciate the positive elements of it, which is just having fun, having some visibility. Now I go and gamble, and people want to gamble with me and stuff.
Wow.
Like take pictures of me gambling and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's really funny.
Man, those Stake guys crushed it.
They murdered it.
I don't know how they're doing still, but I know back in the day. They're still crushing it.
Yeah, still crushing it. They're focused on Kick now, that streaming platform.
Right. That was an interesting pivot for them.
Stake just is a cash cow at this point.
Well, that was probably a smart move because they were banned everywhere, right? You couldn't post about them.
Yeah, it was weird. Twitch kicked them off the platform. They wanted to deplatform them. And I don't know if that's because of gambling or if it's just because of them. I don't know. I really don't know. But they had to create Kick almost out of necessity. I think their story is that they were going to do it anyways, or they were thinking about doing it anyways, and then getting deplatformed off of Twitch just accelerated.
Yeah. And partnering with streamers was a brilliant model.
Yes, 100% agree. I think Roobet maybe did that a little bit before them.
Yeah.
But Stake definitely, what Stake did a good job of doing is partnering with really big brand name celebrities. So even before the streamers, the Drakes, the Izzy, Adesanyas, they did a phenomenal job of just branding. Before, those kind of offshore casinos and stuff, they didn't do any branding.
Yeah.
They
were sketchy, right?
Yeah, sketchy fly-by-night operations. And so Stake did a good job of resetting what expectation. They created original games. They created insight chat. They created social communities through Discord and Reddit and stuff like that. So they set the bar, and then now it's on us, it's on people like MonkeyTilt, new entrants to the market. It's on us to compete with them and find new and inventive ways to accommodate the customer and create new product experiences for the customer. But it's also fun, they've at the same time, they do a really good job of being like the Costco of online gambling. They just squeeze and squeeze and squeeze the margins. So they make it really, really hard for new people to enter the market. And I have all the fucking respect in the world for that. Right?
Really? How did they squeeze the margins?
Well, they just give more and more back to the player, right?
Oh,
so
wow.
they make it like very hard for you to steal players from them.
Damn.
Yeah, and I think that's a super clever operating model. So that, of course, forces us to do the same, right? To match those, which makes it very hard for us to make money for some amount of time. But the good news is for people like me, I have a track record of being a successful operator. So I couldn't do it with my own balance sheet alone, but with my investors' balance sheets and, with the backing I have, then I can take on someone like Stake. And we're not trying to win number one in the market, but we think there's going to be a top 5 in the market. So MonkeyTilt's goal is to be a number 2 or 3 in the market.
I love that. Yeah, because to open this, it must be really capital intensive.
It's very capital intensive, mostly on the marketing side. Because what happens is you go to enter a new market, and you're well aware because you're in the social media game. Affiliate channels get very expensive, right? Yeah. So if you're marketing keywords, Stake's buying all the same keywords as you, right? So you're going after, keywords, you can't do that. You go to find paid affiliate traffic, Stake's going to pay a lot more for that affiliate traffic than you're going to be able to pay right out of the gate.
Right.
You talk about things like celebrity endorsement deals and sponsorships that they're going to be able to throw a lot more money at. But eventually then that becomes the big guy starts overspending, and it becomes very ROI backwards for them. And they'll do that to some level, right? Until they can crowd out the market, and then they have to go back to making money, right? So, I look at this and I go, rather than trying to take them head on in their own game, we try to take a very differentiated approach. I think you notice that our brand is very different than Stake's. We're fun, we're degenerate.
You're more laid back.
Yeah, I feel so too. I feel like we're a little less corporate and we're a little more fun. And I do feel that our channels and the way we touch our customers is very different than the way that, that they go about it. So I have all the respect in the world for those two. And they were also young, right? So when they founded this company, they were very, very young. So I have enormous amount of respect for that. I never met either of them, funnily enough. But
they're in Australia, right?
Yeah. But one of them, Beej, is American and Eddie's Australian. And then Beej moved to Australia.
Yeah.
But they are just, they've built an absolute operational powerhouse.
Yeah.
And so now it's my job to go build a formidable competitor to them in the market.
Yeah, I remember they were kind of low key for a bit, and then their houses got leaked.
Yeah. That's how they became public.
Yeah.
All this, well, I guess no, they became public through Drake, through the Drake stuff.
Yeah.
And then they bought, like, Eddie started buying every $50 million house you could buy in Iraq.
Well, the Drake stuff allegedly, right? $1 billion contract, something crazy. I don't know the exact number.
No one knows, right?
100 mil or whatever.
Yeah, no one knows, but I'm sure it's a huge number.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it's been cool. Where could people keep up with you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. What's your social media?
Social media is at Senior Tilt on Instagram, and I don't know what is that. Yeah, just add Senior Tilt on that.
We'll link it below.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
Thank you.